Alrighty, I've got stuck into starting on the MX62 5ME Toyota Crusader already. Trying to get rid of some of this grease and grime. It's had a new cylinder head, the cylinder head planed and a new gasket put back on. It's also got a new water pump, but when they put the water pump on, they made a bit of a hack of it and it leaks. It's also been chemi welded or liquid sealed, or attempted to be liquid sealed. That hasn't worked, so that's why they ended up doing a head gasket. The next big thing is we've got a lot of things we're going to remove from this engine bay. Here we have an economy air pump that does is it sucks air in from over here, like a supercharger kind of style thing. These nozzles here, there's a manifold full of them. They blow in the exhaust to pressurise the exhaust chamber to make the EGR work better. Why you want to circulate your exhaust gases better, I really don't know. And there's the EGR valve there, which has also got a second line off up to here. Basically, I'm going to prune as much of this crap off as I can. The air conditioning system, that's going to go. The coil's going to get lifted up from where it is and probably tucked up here on the strut tower. Air conditioner pump's going to go. The blower pump, the air blower, is going to go. The clutch fan's going to go. The fan shroud's going to go, because they've hacked that out of it to get the fan out. The overflow bottle, I've got an idea for that. What I might try and do is see if there's enough space up there for a Ford Falcon radiator header bottle. We'll cut a header bottle in to the system. Means we get to hold more water, keep it cooler. We're going to modify this mass airflow meter where it connects onto this standard airbox, and there was a snorkel that come over the radiator. And modify that. We're going to get rid of that intake silencer and get rid of that small piping and use some stainless. These pipes here will both go as well, the two on top, and get rid of that busted elbow there, and remake that plastic pipe there with either steel or stainless, and remove a lot of these vacuum actuation lines. Yeah, we're going to have a fair old prune up and get rid of some of this crappy wiring. I'm going to pull the plugs out, put some new plugs in it, and check the dizzy, make sure the dizzy's all happy. Lips down there. Yeah, we're going to see if we can get it to purr like it should, basically. The water pump's going to come out. As you can see, they only put 2 bolts back in the clutch fan hub assembly. It's a bit of a fucking rough job. Well, the young bloke that I bought it off didn't really know what he was doing. While I'm doing all the pipe work and stuff like that, I might give the head a re-torque myself, because it's only been on there for maybe 100 kilometres, not many at all. So that needs doing as well. And then we'll start on some cosmetic stuff on the outside of the car, including putting some normal Ford Falcon springs in the back of it to lift it up a bit, and changing the engine oil and filter, giving the radiator a good flush out when we finish degreasing the bay, drop the bottom hose off and pump water through it and through one of the heater hoses, the heater tap up there, and give it a clean out because it's had chemi weld in it, which is just I think it's called sodium silicate with copper in it. It bogs up and seals up holes in aluminium and steel and copper radiators and heads and gaskets. Horrible stuff. I've got a heat shield for a Falcon we can put over that set of extractors. Get rid of some engine bay temperatures. Single 16-inch thermo, or maybe 2 small ones. I've got a 10 and an 8 and a 10 and a 12. We'll work out what fits best across the radiator. Yeah, so that's the build. That's the plan. Sell them ugly steel wheels off, put the standard alloys back on it so it doesn't look out of place. Gonna tint the front indicators, the rear tail lights and indicators lightly with nightshade tint. Might get some nice Arctic blue headlight bulbs for them. Maybe even some LED low beams and some nice high beams. Don't know, we'll have a look at that. Tint that so it doesn't look faded. Check the battery with a load test to make sure that's good. Yeah, so there's a bit on. A bit happening. I've just given it a soak with some car wash and degreaser. We'll let that sit overnight and I'll wash it off tomorrow night. Then we'll start pulling the front of the motor apart when we can see what we're actually doing. No point touching these things when it's a mess. So all you do is either lose parts or make a mess of yourself. So yeah, that's what's on for the next couple of nights out here. And I'll make a playlist including the video I shot earlier tonight when I brought this home. And we'll call it the MX62 project. Let's turn this nice standard old MX62 into something cool. I want to pull the front and back bumpers off, or at least mask up the car off the bumpers and get some bumper paint, give them a paint up, make them tidy. The actual body of the car's paint's in good shape. Just a bit low all around, but it doesn't look too out of place, which is important. Yeah, that's the plan. If you're interested in these MX62 Crusaders, or even the 73, which is the later version of it, this might be a series that'll interest you. Thanks for watching. I'll continue keeping on. See you next time. Alright, it's only day 2 of owning the MX62 Crusader, and we're getting stuck in. First thing I did was remove the belts to get the water pump out. Just the little beast here. As you can see, there's bugger all sealant on it. I've only just started scraping it, and they didn't use a gasket. They used aviation cement, which doesn't normally like heat, and it's got warming, obviously, because it's a water pump, and squeeze that out. So we're going to give that a good clean up so the surface is nice, and give it a wipe with some wax and grease remover. Same thing in there. It's cold out tonight, so I thought I'd run it for a few minutes to get it warm, but it's still freezing. It's nicer to work on a warm engine some nights. But yeah, we're going to give that surface down there a wipe with some wax and grease remover and a clean rag before we set these two items back together. And we'll put our belts back on. We're going to remove this air pump, but we'll probably do that another night. I'll just get it back together and get it driving so I can give it a drive, see what else it needs doing straight away. So yeah, I'm going to clean the water pump up and put that back in and fill it back up full of fluid. Going to delete that intake silencer and that shitty bend. I've got a Ford Falcon one over here I can use, and I'll put a Ford Falcon one in there, a bit of stainless pipe for tonight. Just get rid of that intake silencer, see if it makes a difference. Get rid of this top to the air box. That's another thing that's going to go. I've got to put that water pump pulley back on. Let's get a covering disc there. We'll fill it back up with water, and then we'll give it a flush out so that we know that we're getting all the liquid seal horrible shit out. I'm going to get rid of this shroud as well. And put a thermo fan on that. So a bit to do tonight. but we should get it started and running again a bit later. I'll update you on the next step. Thanks for watching. Alright, got the water pump clean and given it a rub with some wax and grease remover. Got down in there clean where the water pump's going. Tonight we're going to use some formed in place gasket maker and sealant, or also known as RTV silicone. This is a Sika or Sikaflex brand. It's a black RTV silicone. As it says, good temperature resistance, blah blah blah. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it on the water pump itself first. Fairly thick around here. Once we get that on, we'll let it stand for a little while before we put it on the actual car. And then we might give it half an hour or so, which will give me time to put some things back together and modify the intake pipe before we put it back in and fill it all up with water, etc. It's reasonably thick, this stuff. Like so. Move a tripod somewhere more suitable so you can actually see what I'm doing. Alright. We've got it sealing all the way around it. Just make sure it's nice and thick all the way around. Some of this is going to squeeze out. Makes a bit of a mess. Easiest way to clean it up is with a knife after you've put it in, all said and done. Okay, the Japan doesn't have a top mark, but it's got a witness hole. It's 5-sided. Slide that back in. Pull our 5 nuts back on. More to go up there. got 10mm bolts. Do them up as far as we can with our fingers because it's a bit of a tight spot. Ratchet the socket would have been better. Progress is progress. It helps a little bit that the motor's warm. Like it's probably block's probably 30 degrees, I suppose. I had it running about an hour ago. But pulling the water pump out, doing this hasn't taken all that long. It took longer to set up some lights so we could see what we were doing. You want to hear that sealant squish out as you do it up. It's a nice sound to hear. Don't forget the one underneath. It's important. Just run around and check them all. Only a little 10mm studs. There you go, you got them done up. So as planned, we've made up a nice piece of stainless, cut up a nice piece of stainless to go across. Removing what it had when I bought it. Piece of duct taped it up, busted, crappy old joiner, like so, and an intake muffler. Intake resonator sometimes called. They just stop all the intake noise. So we don't mind intake noise. So it's getting chucked, that's going in. Up here I've used a EL Ford Falcon intake pipe. Which we're going to get on there. Like so. That'll go onto the standard plastic top pipe, which has got the breathers and things on it, and then the stainless one will go down into here. Just need to back one of these off a bit, back the hose clamp off a bit. so we can slide it onto the stainless. Like so. Needs a bit of lubrication and that. Go. Just like that. What size was that? 10 mil? Is that end done up? 8 mil for our top ones. Just like that, we get a stainless intake pipe, a crappy bend deleted. Less restriction, better flexible joint up here, no air leaks. So the airflow sensor will work better. Mass airflow sensor, which I believe is a hot wire. And it looks cool. Declutters the engine bay a bit. Alright, another piece of the puzzle down. Continue on with the water pump back together so I can start it up for you. Alright, I'll get that done. I'll come back. Oh, that's the stage we've got to tonight. With a stainless pipe in, secured and up. It's had a good run tonight. Just full of water. Water pump's not in fact leaking, which is wonderful. It's good I can put the clutch fan back on for the time being so I can continue driving it. Belts are all tightened up and working sweet. Got rid of the horrible intake restriction piece over the top of there. Got rid of the intake silencer. Got rid of the air pump's airbox up here for the air pump. Air pump's going to come out as well. Then I need to get a shorter belt for the power steering pump. Yeah, a bit's happened. It's had a good wash. It's heaps better in there now. Need some powerful, like chemical based degreaser to get some of the thicker stuff off, and I'll use the steam cleaner. Yeah, bit of a thing I didn't account for. I thought this was actually an IRS diffed vehicle, independent rear suspension, but it's a solid diff. It's an E series Toyota diff. It's an E302. That's a bit of a bummer. I was hoping it was IRS, but it's drum brake and solid life axle. So we'll put the clutch phone back on tonight and take it for a drive. I'll grab some footage of that and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching the MX62 Crusader project. I shall keep you updated as more happens. Oh, that's another thing I've done. only a first coat. I'll check them in the daylight and clean up the overspray, but giving the taillights a tint. Gets rid of that ugly looking faded plastic. The front indicator and parker, that side will be next. Alright then, thanks for watching. I'm packing it up and calling it a night. It's about 3 degrees outside. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.